Listen, did you know that the floorboard of a square body S10 sits deeper in the cab on one side than it does the other? Now you do. We're going to talk about why that is and why it might even matter in this video. But first, I'm going to put my blinker on, get back in my lane. Now, I am forevermore picking on my wife about her lack of observance. But let's be honest about what I've got to work with here. I literally took the cab off the stupid truck, stood it up on its hind end, and exposed the floorboard and did a body drop. Then I even went so far as to repair the floorboard on the driver's side, and I still did not notice this. But we know the next step on the stupid truck is pull the cab off again, see if we can get the engine running, get an exhaust made. So before we pull the cab, we need to crawl up underneath this truck and measure and see how much room we have in reference to being able to run that exhaust. And that's when I found this difference. This is a bad viewing angle for you guys, and I'm aware of it. But if you crawl up underneath a stock square body S10 and measure the floorboard from the bottom of the floorboard to the bottom of the frame at the transmission cross member, you got a number that's going to come out to be about 5 inches. On the passenger side, it's going to be closer to 7. But this truck has been body dropped, so you got to take that into consideration. Let's go measure some of these other vehicles on the property, see if they have similar measurements. It's the front. So in total, I measured 4 different vehicles on property. All 4 of these trucks had the same difference between the passenger side and the driver's side. Actually, the driver's side and the passenger, and it don't matter. Now, the numbers were not exactly the same when you compare one vehicle to the other, but the body mounts getting squished over time could have something to do with that. What's important is the space under the vehicle from the bottom of the frame to the bottom of the cab is about 1.5 to 2 inches difference on each one of these vehicles, which brings us back to these same 2 questions. Why? And why does it matter? Well, first let's answer why is that? And honestly, the answer to that question is the same as why is this transmission cross member so funky looking? And it's simple. The exhaust ran on that side of the truck. This side of the truck did not have an exhaust pipe coming down, but this truck will have an exhaust on both sides when everything's finished. Now, if we take a tape measure from the bottom of the floor to the top of the transmission cross member, we're going to get about 3 inches. My pipe is 2.5 inches, and I don't have enough... Get your mind out of the gutter. And I don't have enough faith in my ability to run that pipe through here without either laying it on one of these 2 surfaces or at the very least getting it close enough that it's going to rattle. So I think my best bet is to modify this cross member for the transmission and bring it up so that we can create more room for our exhaust pipe and then find a spot further towards the back to put our mufflers. All right, so the reason why is because of the exhaust. And the reason why it matters is because, well, because of the exhaust. I mean, think about it. This thing's got a LT1 out of a 92 Corvette. And we gotta have dual exhaust on this truck because it just wouldn't be right if we didn't. And before any of you keyboard warriors say, oh, you should have LS swapped it, If you've got a spare LS laying around you want to donate to the project, you feel free to mail it to me. Between now and then, we'll install this LT1 because, well, it's in the truck. I owe my wife so many apologies. Peace, love, and mini trucks.